Good morning, Arthur Rafferty speaking on behalf of the Arthur Rafferty Foundation. Now, I would like to speak about Woodbourne RUC station in West Belfast. Now, I called them out to look at my daughter's car that was tampered with by a gang of scum from the West RUC. Now, these scum loosened all of the nuts on the front wheel of her car. Now, my daughter drove her car back and forward to work and also done all her shopping with her daughter and her 10-month-old son in the car. She noticed that the front wheel was very loose and called me to have a look at it. I checked the wheel and 2 of the nuts were sheared off completely and the other 2 nuts were very, very loose. She told me that the car was driving like that for the past 4 weeks. Now, the RUC PSNI came out and took statements, and I noticed right away that their attitude was all wrong. They only had a quick look at the wheel. I showed them the 2 nuts that were sheared off, expecting them to take them away as evidence, but they had no interest. My daughter gave them the names of the scum who she knew were involved in the crime, including a member of Sinn Féin ARA and drug dealers. But they didn't want to know. These police from Woodbourne RUC station couldn't get away quick enough. This is a serious crime. I call it attempted murder of my daughter, and if my granddaughter and her 10-month-old baby had been in the car, that would be mass murder. Those RUC PSNI treated my daughter with total disrespect. Now, after 2 months and no action from the RUC PSNI, I got my daughter another car in early June. 2 weeks later, my daughter's house was broken into and her car keys was taken out. This was on the 13th of the 6th, 2015, between the hours of 12:30 AM and 8 AM. Her car was taken away, and once again RUC PSNI from Woodbourne came out to take the statements. My daughter gave them the names of those who broke into her home, the same gang who damaged her first car. My daughter is in no doubt about this whatsoever, as this gang are well known for stealing cars in West RUC and are well known by the police. Constable Rob, who took the statements, showed no interest in the names my daughter gave him. All he would say is, "We need proof." I asked him to go to their homes to take statements, but he says, "We can't do that." It was a total waste of my time talking to them. It seemed to me that these RUC PSNI had already made their minds up. Now, Constable Rob phoned 4 days later to state that a car was burnt out in Norglen Parade, but he wasn't sure if it was my daughter's car. Now, Norglen is only minutes away from where that West RUC gang lives. Her car was stolen on the 13th of the 6th, 2015, and it is now the 29th of the 6th, 2015, and those so-called police have not been in contact with my daughter. After this gang, who tried to murder my daughter and her family, also break into her house and steal her second car, my daughter received a letter from a firm who works for the RUC PSNI called Creighton's Garages of 7C Diamond Gardens, Belfast, BT10. No telephone number was given, stating that they have my daughter's car, which they recovered on behalf of the RUC PSNI. Now, this letter is dated the 19th of the 6th, 2015. So, the police have known about the car from the 19th of the 6th, 2015, and they still haven't told my daughter, and it is now the 29th of the 6th, 2015. This firm is known to work for the RUC PSNI, as the old saying, jobs for the boys. This firm has sent my daughter an invoice for to £250 for the recovery of the vehicle on the say-so of the RUC PSNI Woodbourne Police Station. Now, if the RUC PSNI had told me, I would have had the car picked up, and it would not have cost me anything like £250. But, of course, the RUC PSNI look after their own. So let me tell the RUC PSNI, I never gave you your firm Creighton the say-so to lift the car. You did so you can pay them. The letter also states that if you do not collect your vehicle or belongings within the stated time, we will be instructed by the RUC PSNI to dispose of them. Any sum raised in excess of the standard fee will be held for your collection. Where the sum raised is less than the standard fee due, plus any costs incurred disposing of the vehicle, the Chief Constable of the RUC, George Hamilton, may pursue this debt by way of civil proceedings. This, of course, is the way that corrupt RUC PSNI are trying to get back at me, because I have stood up to them for the past 41 years after they, with the cooperation of Sinn Féin area informer Scappaticci, brutally murdered my father, an unarmed man, in 1974. I am now proceeding to take the Chief Constable and his corrupt RUC PSNI to court for getting rid of fatal evidence found at the scene of my father's murder. The evidence disappeared from inside the York Road RUC PSNI station to make sure that their Sinn Féin area Scappaticci would not be charged. Now, all Chief Constables from 1974 right up to the present Chief Constable George Hamilton are guilty of perjury, withholding information about murders, and a conspiracy of silence in my father's murder. This RUC PSNI have tried to shut me up and failed. Now they have turned on my daughter and her family. But let me tell them that my daughter is made out of the same cloth as her father. So bring it on. Now, if the state and the RUC PSNI think that they can wash their hands of my father's murder, they are living in Clyde-Cuckooland. Now, to finish, those at Woodbourne RUC station, I will not call them police, because that would be an insult to good police officers. Those scum from West RUC who disabled my daughter's car, trying to murder her, yet those at Woodbourne police station treated her case as a joke and done absolutely nothing. My daughter gave them the names of those involved, including drug dealers. Now, no one was ever questioned about the crime. Now, you don't have to be Einstein to work that one out. Those involved are, of course, police informers. And just like my father's murder that I had to solve myself, I will sort those from West RUC out who tried to murder my family. These nuts were deliberately loosened, and my daughter was driving about for 4 to 5 weeks, not knowing the danger she was in. No thanks to that grossly inactive RUC PSNI, whose prime object was to hide those their informers. The Arthur Rafferty Foundation has been in contact with a human rights lawyers firm in London with a view of taking a case against the RUC PSNI at Woodbourne Police Station. My daughter and her family's human rights have been violated. Now, I would also like to speak about, once again, we see those so-called hoodies with the typical Sinn Féin area old war cry, we want, we want, we want. These scum are asking for justice from a government that the Sinn Féin area were at war with. These hoods were murderers, killers, bombers. They killed innocent men, women and children who had nothing to do with the illegal war. Yet these Sinn Féin area murderers are annoyed because they said that they were tortured. After all, they are terrorists. What did they expect? What about the innocent people that these scum blew to pieces with their no-warning bombs? Innocent people shot in the back of the head and dumped in fields. People like my father who was took out of a pub in North Belfast after finishing a hard day's work at the Belfast docks, shot 5 times in the back. My father was an unarmed man by these hooded men's Sinn Féin IRA. All were RUC PSNI Special Branch informers. And of course, they are getting backing from Patrick Corrigan and his pro-Sinn Féin IRA Amnesty International. Now, anyone who would like a tape of this story or any one of my stories can call me on my mobile 077 1592 1137. Leave your name and address and I will send you a tip free. Thank you. Anyone who has a story to tell and wishes me to air it can call me on my mobile 07715 921137, or I can send a reporter out to get your story. And remember, I will tell your story as you tell me. Nothing will be cut out. Now watch more of my stories on YouTube, arthurrafferty.com, YouTube Arthur Rafferty, Arthur Rafferty Docker, YouTube Jackspot 2012. That is a tip about the brutal murder of my father by a 5-man gang of Sinn Féin IRA, all police informers, led by Freddie Scappaticci on the orders of the British government, the RUC PSNI and the Special Branch. That Sinn Féin IRA scum Scappaticci carried out their orders on their command. Now my email address is arthurrafferty1@gmail.com. Thank you for watching PSNI TV and the Arthur Rafferty Foundation, and good morning. I will see you soon.